And we're back. Is your set coverage just doing nothing? You've got the float curve and the spline parameter, but the mesh isn't budging. In Blender 5.0, the traditional fixes like forcing named attributes and switch nodes, they can feel buggy or maybe just way too subtle. Today, I'm going to show you why these methods fail and a much simpler, more defined solution to get the perfect taper. Let's dive in. Let's launch 4.2. Okay. So, okay. Let's create the geometry nodes here. Just name it as set curve. And then Bezier segment over here. So yeah, then we'll try to adjust some, make it look adjust a bit of things here. Maybe this one. Okay, let's just use this one. Alright, so after doing a curve, let's place some resample curve. Increase the resolution, maybe I don't know, 32. Then traditionally we would put the set curve radius over here. Set curve radius, and then mesh the curve. This is the traditional way to do it. Traditional meaning mesh to curve, no, curve to mesh, sorry, a bit dyslexic. Curve to mesh. Okay, and create a profile here. Circle, must be a curved circle, not a mesh circle. Okay, so now, right now, there is a radius and it follows the set curve radius because it's 0.05, right? If we turn this off, it's gonna be big like that because it follows the 1 meter or 0.25, okay? But we want to use this one so we could sort of control. I'll show you here in a while. So what we traditionally do is we plug a spline parameter factor into the radius, and so now you can see from the start to the end it goes from the traditional 0 to 1. So in order for us to control it, we insert a float curve in between. So we want to bulge, for example, in the middle, and we can have that. Okay, so if you want, like this is too gradual, and if you want the bulge to be more emphasized, like abrupt, you can add some points and you have this, right? If you want the end to have bulbs at the ends, you pull the ends just like that and like that, and you have like sort of a trumpet looking thing. Now because this curve
ranges from 0 on the left to 1. So that's all you can control, all the float numbers in between 0 and 1. If you want more control, you could probably stretch it out. See, so then there's more space to create points, intermediate points. So maybe you want another bulge here, small bulge there. Right, you have to bring it up a bit to see. So yeah, so maybe you can, if the file is too heavy, you can decrease this resolution, maybe 16 or even 8. But 8 you can see the segments already, so maybe 16 is okay. Yeah. So okay, let's say you have this now. So there's also an option to fill caps. Okay. So alright, we have that, but that's the way to do it in version 4.2. So what if we use it now for version 5 and try to do it now, version 5. Okay, and then recreate it, set curve, just like that. Yay. And then paste this thing up. Okay. So, right. So let's just create that curve now and resample curve. So how many? 64 maybe, to make it smoother. So not smooth. Okay, next is set curve radius. And curve to mesh. Alright. And then profile curve first. So now it acts differently, right? You saw from the previous version, once I set the profile, it follows the set curve radius. Right now it immediately follows the profile radius, right? So now if we do what we've done to what we've done in version 4.2, wherein we plug in a spline parameter and a float curve, you can see that nothing's happening here, right? Nothing's happening here. There's no bulge, it's not moving anywhere. So from what I've seen, asking AI or looking at forums, what the solution here is, actually plug in a named attribute to the scale and look for radius. So now this radius is there, which is influenced by the float curve. Now you see, if I turn this off, so it goes from 0 to 1, and turn this on. So same thing, if you want a better control of the float curve, you can stretch it somehow. There's a limit to the stretching, so let's just try what we did to the other version. Alright, so we have that there. Okay. Oh yeah, I think there is another thing that being added here from my research, and that is plugging in a switch node here. Yeah, and this access output into the switch. Okay, so I don't know what the difference is, but that's what was suggested. So fill caps, so it becomes like that. That's one workaround. But another workaround is, instead of using curve to mesh, we use curved tubes. Curve to tube, yeah, which is something new in Blender 5, I think. So if we pull it up, so you can see there's still an effect from the float curve, and the set curve radius is indeed influencing the radius of the spline along its length. Yeah, so you don't need, in Blender 5 you don't need to create a lot of nodes, use a lot of nodes like the switch node and the name attribute node. You just need to go to curve to tube. Well, for example, I want a square, so you can just change this to 4, then you have a square profile. But this one is rounded though. I guess it's just a shade smooth issue. Yeah, so yeah, you have a quadrilateral here. If not, you can also use custom geometry here. So yeah, you can set a quadrilateral here. Yep. And set a rectangle. And yeah, there might be a problem with our resolution here, but yeah, I mean, it's there. Of course, if you need it, there's always ways to work around again. Yeah, so there's more options, and it's quicker with this curved tubes. You can actually have more options in one node. So if you want rounded ends, then you'll have rounded ends. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. See you again. Thanks.